Great students, today is Thursday and today is again mystery solving day. Mystery? Not like detectives, it's mystery of chemicals. That is chemistry day. And you know what? This is my favorite day. I love chemistry. I don't know why. I love it. But students, today I have some fun for you in my store. Okay. Today I'm sending you two videos. One is explanation on the lesson. Today's topic is compounds. We have done elements previous day. Today I have compounds with you, for you, compounds for you. However, along with that, I'm going to send you another video, the second video that would comprise of a story. Today I'm going to tell you a story, narrate you a story of elements. Okay? So let's wait and see what's coming on our way. So students, we are doing the chapter 2 of chemistry book Elements and Compounds from page number 14 of your Ratna Sagar book. So previously we have seen what are the things we are going to cover here, and then we have known about what are matters and two types of matters and two types of pure substances. And then we have come across the definition of elements with examples. And then we have known about various types of elements with their examples. And then we have come across the properties of various types of elements like metals, non-metals, metalloids, and noble gas. Then we have moved on to the portion where we have come to know about the symbols of elements and who was that person who invented the naming system or symbolic system. And now when Jacob Berzelius is not living, who has taken responsibility to name the new elements invented and their symbols? It's IUPAC. And then we have come across the first 10 elements and the process of how to remember the 10 elements. And after this video you will get a video of with a story that would help you to remember all the 10 elements of the first 10 elements of the periodic table. Now students, today we move on to compounds. Today's topic is compounds. Now, what are compounds? Okay, here you can see water, common salt, carbon dioxide. These are all compounds. So what makes these things compounds? Now, the definition of compound is a substance made up of two or more elements. So a substance made up of a substance. So compound is a substance that is made up of two or more elements. For example, you see here oxygen is an element, hydrogen is another element. So two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, they combines to form water, and water is a compound. Similarly, nitrogen is an element, oxygen is another element. They combine to form nitrogen oxide, that is single atom of nitrogen, one atom of oxygen, or nitrogen dioxide, single atom of nitrogen and two atoms of oxygen. And then we have got carbon as an element, oxygen as another element. They both combine to form carbon dioxide, a compound made up of one atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. So, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, they are elements. We have got four elements here. And nitrogen oxide, water, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, they are compounds. So, two or more elements combine to form these compounds. No, formation of compounds from elements is similar. It's just exactly similar. In the formation of words with one or two or more alphabets. Like we have got A as an alphabet, N as an alphabet. They combine to form the word N. And if I add one more T, they form the word ant. Similarly, oxygen O, hydrogen H, so oxygen with two hydrogen, they combine, they get added up to form the compound H2O. Alright, so this is just similar to the formation of words from single or two or more alphabets. Okay. Now here we have got a few examples of compounds. First we have got water. Water. What is water? We have got one oxygen over here. Suppose if the oxygen is your teacher, I. And here we have got two students, you and your best friend. You are running away from the class, and see how I am holding you tight so that I can form a good result. What is the good result over here? Good result is formation of the compound H2O. Okay, so here one oxygen holds two hydrogen to form a compound water. Similarly, here you see, this is just like you and I. Na, sodium. This is I, your teacher. This is your teacher. And this one is pakka you. See? You, student. Right now you all feel that school is not working, so we have not to study ever in our life. Okay, so that's why you are not at all opening my video, watching it and studying well. But I am the teacher. I am dragging you, pulling you and holding you to get some good result. What is that good result? A compound called NaCl. What is that? NaCl, the salt which you eat. Common salt. The salt that you eat. This is water that you drink. Then here you'll see you have got one nitrogen. This is I again. This is Sir, not I. It has got mustaches over here. So this is Sir. Sir is also doing the same. This is Sir, nitrogen. And he is, poor thing, I would say carbon, because here pictures are given of carbon dioxide. So Sir is here, poor thing. One Sir, that is carbon. One atom of carbon. He is pulling and holding two students over there. One is you. One is you. Another one is your friend. Both same. Okay? To form a compound. To form a compound known as carbon dioxide. When you burn a candle, the smoke that comes out is carbon dioxide. When you run a car, the smoke comes out of carbon dioxide. In factories and all, the smoke comes out of carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the three examples of compounds. Now we come to the properties of compounds. Properties of compounds. Now see the first property. Property number 1. That says compounds are made up of two or more elements. That's what I have shown you here. Oxygen and hydrogen combine to form water. Oxygen and nitrogen combine to form nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen oxide. Carbon and oxygen combines to form carbon dioxide. Here, hydrogen and oxygen combines to form water. Sodium and chlorine combines to form sodium chloride, that is common salt. Carbon and oxygen, they combine to form carbon dioxide. And here you see sodium, oxygen and hydrogen, they combine to form sodium hydroxide. Here we have got sodium. Here we have got oxygen. And here we have got hydrogen. They bond together to form sodium hydroxide. Sodium is an element. Oxygen is another element. Hydrogen is another element. They combine to form sodium hydroxide. Similarly, hydrogen is an element. Here, hydrogen is an element and oxygen is another element. They combine to form water, H2O, water. All right. Next, we move on to the next property. The next property, number 2. Property number 2 says a compound is always made up of the same elements combined together in fixed ratio. Now you see, when you produce water, to produce one molecule of water, you always use 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Always 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen like this combines with 1 atom of oxygen to produce, always to produce 1 molecule of water. It never happens that you take 2 atoms of oxygen, 1 atom of hydrogen, or 3 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of oxygen. No, it is always 2:1. 2 atoms of oxygen, it is always 2:1. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen to produce 1 molecule of water. So this is what is termed as fixed ratio. Okay? We move on to the third property. What is the third property? Third property. It says a compound is always homogeneous. What do you mean by the word homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar type, same type. Let me write the word here. What is the meaning of homogeneous? Means same or similar. Now you see, students, when you take a glass of water, each molecule of water in the glass, each molecule of water in the glass is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Then only we get H2O in the glass, right? Now when we look at this scenario where we can see a drop of water, here also, students, each molecule of a drop of water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Then only we get this H2O in this drop of water. So it is homogeneous. Whether you take a glass of water, then also 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen, H2O, each molecule. In case of a drop of water also, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen, that is 1 molecule of H2O. This is what we call a compound is always homogeneous. Next we move on to point number 3. Point number 4, sorry. Point number 4. The point number 4 says, the property number 4 says, the properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. Understand that. The compound, the end result, it has got different properties from its individual atoms or elements. For example, you take water. Water. What is water made up of? It is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. These are the two elements, right? One is oxygen and two hydrogen. So these are the two things. Now you take hydrogen, example of hydrogen. Hydrogen has the property that burns. You see, we have got sun over here, and we all know it's a ball of helium and hydrogen. So we can say hydrogen burns. It can burn, right? It can burn. Hydrogen burns, right? Next, let's take the example of oxygen. It has got the property, oxygen. Oxygen has the property. See, we have oxygen in air. Air has got oxygen. And when you burn a candle, it happily, when you light a candle, it happily burns. But if you cover the candle with a glass, you would see it will put off. The candle will not no more burn. So this is your activity, student. Today's activity, today's homework. Note down. What is the activity? This is the activity. You would show oxygen helps in burning. How would you do that? You will take a candle, you will light it, and then you will take a glass tumbler, that is একটা গেলাস, কাঁচের গেলাস, transparent glass tumbler, and you will cover the lit up candle like this, and you will show me in a video that how the candle goes up inside the glass. You should cover it completely, the mouth should not be open. This would prove that oxygen helps in burning. Now, hydrogen burns, student. Oxygen helps in burning. What about the water and the fire? They are the enemies, right? Water and fire, they are enemies. Water is used to extinguish fire. put off fire. That's what a fireman does. Sprinkles water with hose pipe to put off water, put off fire, right? So hydrogen burns, oxygen helps burning. Water neither burns nor helps burning. So this shows that the properties of compound, that is a property of water, is never similar to the property of its elements individually, like property of hydrogen or property of oxygen. It's not similar. Next we move on to point number 5. Property number 5 says the properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. Now you see, students, common salt, NaCl. NaCl is known as common salt that we sprinkle on food and eat. Tata iodized namak, Ashirwad namak. So that's what is NaCl. Now it has been seen that sodium, that is Na, has got poisonous effect on our health. Similarly, chlorine, right? Chlorine, that is written as Cl, that is also poisonous for us. However, students, when I combine one atom of sodium and one atom of chlorine, I get sodium chloride, which is very necessary for our health. It's good for our health. So if I only eat sodium, I will die. If I only eat chlorine, I'll die. But if I do not eat sodium chloride, salt, with iodine in it, then I will have goiter. That is bad for health. We need salt. Not to a huge extent, but we need salt in our body. Right? So we can see the properties of compounds are different from those of its constituent elements. Okay? Next, this is actually property number 4, second part of property number 4. It is the same property. Next we move on to next property. Property number 5. Now, property of number 5 says it is possible to separate the constituent. Okay, I have written it wrong, students. Sorry for that. I would here add not. My typing mistake. I'm sorry. It is not possible to separate the constituents of a compound by physical means. Now, students, go to the RO system of your house, RO system or the water filter. Now take a glass of water. And observe. Do you get in that glass, after filtration, that is physical means, will you get hydrogen? and oxygen separately? Will you get this? No. You will never get this. In that glass, what will you get? In the glass, you will get water, H2 only. So filtration is a physical method, right? Is a physical means. And with this physical means, it is not possible to separate the elements from its compound. So to do that, you need chemical means. So to separate, if you want to separate hydrogen and oxygen from water, then you need a chemical means. What is that chemical means? You need this chemical means. What is this chemical means? This chemical means is called electrolysis. Okay? What is electrolysis? Here you have got a battery. This is a battery. And you pass electricity through it. You pass electricity through water. When you pass electricity through water, and you need to add acid to this water, okay, it should be acidulated water. This should be acid plus water. When you pass electricity through it, water mixed with acid, then you will see this water get separated into oxygen. Oxygen will get accumulated in one of the tubes. Hydrogen will get accumulated in another tube. This process is called electrolysis. So you'll have to learn the definition of electrolysis. Next, the last property. This is the last property, sixth. What this property says? Energy is usually given off or absorbed when a compound is formed. Now it has been seen, students, when you chemically combine hydrogen and water, when you combine hydrogen and oxygen to form water, we get light and heat energy. You see the pictures over here. When you burn candle, the carbon of the candle combines with oxygen from the atmosphere to produce carbon dioxide. And net result is what? What type of energy do you get? Heat energy. Similarly, during the process of photosynthesis, what do you get? You get glucose. What is that? C6H12O6. That is glucose. C6H12O6. So when the photosynthesis takes place, for photosynthesis, apart from water, mineral, chlorophyll, what do you need? You need heat and light. Okay, mainly you need the light energy. Photo means light. So you absorbs energy over here, light energy. So we can see energy is usually given off, like when you to produce water from hydrogen and oxygen atoms, heat and light energy is produced. To produce carbon dioxide by burning candle, you need to what is produced? Heat and light is produced. Yes, of course, light in it. This is candle is used for light. Light is also produced. And during the photosynthesis process, we get carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. That is a compound, right? Glucose. And to produce that, what do we get? What do we need? What the plant needs? They need to absorb light energy from atmosphere. So students, these are the few properties of compounds which you need to learn by heart, along with the examples showing the properties, individual properties. Along with that, you need to learn table. You need to learn table 2.5, page number 17, showing the compounds and its elements. You'll have to learn this. Okay, so that's it for the day, students. Please go through the video and do the question answers which I am sending you. And stay well, stay healthy, stay safe. Take care of your health. Thank you.